that you might be feeling a sense of, I want to raise capital, I want to grow my business fast, and you forget that there's that sweat capital that was at the beginning, and you miss that. If you look at people who've had businesses and raised capital immediately, forgot the sweat capital, put that money in the business, they end up relaxing. After 4 to 5 years, there's no business. It dies off.
Hello, yes people. Welcome to another a mini episode of the Yes Girls. These mini episodes come in between seasons of the Yes Girls and might be to look back on the season or episode just gone, give some additional background on the podcast, or on some of the things that we or you have been saying yes to.
And this is a season 7 mini episode, meaning it's coming after season 7, before season 8. And these episodes can go a little off script, allowing us and our guests to let loose and, just have fun.
This season, we are taking a deep dive into the minds of some of the most inspiring entrepreneurs that we've stumbled across to understand how and why they've made it in their field.
They will set us a mini challenge and tell us about their journey as entrepreneurs. And best of all, they are all yes girls, or rather, yes women.
So let's get right into this episode, which we're calling Entrepreneurship plus Capital Raising.
Does that mean we're burning down major cities? Capital raising, get it?
No, Akumu. It's raising with an IS, not with a Z.
Or putting the first letter of proper nouns on the upper line, get it?
Capital raising. Okay, no, Akumu. If we actually get started, then we'll find out what we mean by capital raising and how best to go about it.
Okay then, let's go for it. I'm Akumu.
And I'm Claire.
And together we are
the Yes Girls
and Entrepreneurs.
Yeah!
So in today's episode, we have 3 guests to talk us through this thorny, exciting and terrifying question of getting money for your business. They are Olive Kirigo from ISBI, or Institute of Small Business Initiatives at Strathmore University, Kenya. Diana Kanyi, the founder of Lerruat Resort in Kajiado County, and Irene Wanjiku, founder of Rexe Roofing. And if we continue peeling back the layers of who, what, and whatever else they are, there's so much more to say. But let them say all of it in their own words. Olive, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, my name is Olive Kirigo Kibe. I am the business lead at Institute for Small Business Initiatives. That's ISBI at Strathmore University. We do training for entrepreneurs in all sectors. That's in we focus on MSMEs. That's micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs, focusing on how they can be able to be trained and grow. That is one. I'm also a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a mom of one.
Nice.
Yes.
And Diana, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Diana Kanyi, co-founder actually, and CEO of Lerruat Hotels. Mm-hmm. We have 2 hotels. There's Lerruat Resort, which is in Kajiado, and then we also have West Lerruat Hotel, which is in Nairobi. In Lerruat Resort, it's a resort in Kajiado where we offer accommodation, we offer conferences, we also offer exclusive destination weddings. Even within the hotel, we also offer corporate team buildings, and we have a spa, a bush. You get the full bush massage experience. And for the Nairobi, it's a small business boutique hotel. We have about 45 rooms. And that's pretty much it.
45 rooms is small? pretty damn good.
Oh, and I forgot to mention Kajiado, we have 50 rooms.
Wow. Oh, wow. That doesn't sound small.
And Irene, last but not least, do go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Irene Wanjiku. I am the founder of Rexe Roofing Products Limited, where we supply and install, I would say, high-end and premium roofing and waterproofing solutions. You might have seen some of our projects. We have worked on projects like the Hub Shopping Mall, Brookhouse Schools in Runda, and many other, both commercial and residential projects. So that's really what we do, and we aim to give an end-to-end solution. Like, we're not just about selling a product, we're about selling you a good product and also ensuring that we also fix this product for you and we give you warranties. And I know we'll be talking more about it.
Absolutely. Now, each of you is here because you have a level of expertise in capital raising or learning or teaching about it. And you're all entrepreneurs, which is great. And to be more specific, so ISBI teaches it. Then Irene and Diana have been on the other side of the table learning about it on the job and also learning about it from ISBI, right? Through the courses and learning opportunities that ISBI offers. So first, Olive, when we say capital raising, we heard Akumu getting it very wrong in the beginning.
Raising, yeah, not raising, raising.
Capital, cities down. What do we actually mean by capital raising?
I'll start off by saying capital raising is a process by which a business secures funds to finance its operations, growth, and other business activities, including how to exit your business. Yes.
It includes that.
Okay.
I did not know. Wow.
Yes. So in regards to capital raising, you can, before you do it, ask yourself why, how, and when I need to do it as a business person. Yes.
Okay, wow. So there's clearly many different sorts that we've not even thought of. And Irene and Diana, maybe Irene, you can go first. What has this actually meant for you? What has your journey with capital raising been?
All right, so I'm happy to say, like Olive said, that we are proud alumni of the ISBI's program. I did the Entrepreneurship program where we covered, capital raising. And for me, it's been really great because just because you're an entrepreneur does not mean that you know everything there is to know. Sometimes you think, oh yes, you might know about the product, but you may not know everything there is to know about finance. So walking the journey also with ISBI and really being able to come up with a strategy. What funds do I want? What's the reason I need these funds? What are they for? And how will I apply that? And what is the cost? Because sometimes you think that it's just easy to get funds, but we never go into the details of what is the cost of these funds. Yeah, what does it cost me to have these funds and from this source? Because I know we'll discuss there are different ways of raising the capital. Yeah.
Interesting. So there's no such thing as free money.
No free money. No free
Nothing
money.
is free.
Great. And Diana?
I would also like to echo what Irene has said. I'm also an alumni in the leadership program. And capital raising to me it's a double-edged sword. It's important to raise capital for your business depending on what you want to do. For my case, it was for development, business growth. So looking at the different options was tricky because the things, as she said, there's no free money. So you really have to weigh your options. And there's an option we settled for, I believe was talk about that, which was getting a facility from a bank. And also looking at it, how are you going to manage this? Are you going to manage this and still manage to operate and pay for your facility? Yeah, so it's a double-edged sword. You will get things moving. Like for us, the development, we're always constructing, always expanding. So that keeps going. But at the end, the accountant is always like, we need to get the rooms full for us to be able to fund our facilities. Yeah, so yeah, double-edged sword. Good, and it also has its tough lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said something very important, I think, Irene, which is you can be really good at knowing your business, what you're good at, if it's roofing, if it's hospitality, if it's baking cakes. But at the end of the day, you need, whatever your business is, you need to be knowing about capital raising, about managing your employees, raising funds, managing those funds and paying them back if it's repayable, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, a lot of people are great at what they do, but not so great at running a business. Luckily, we have 3 people who really know what they're talking about here. But we know there's not one size that fits all. So let's take a short break and then we go a bit deeper. Now, ladies, yes, ladies, we need you to set us a challenge. In this special limited series of the Yes Girls on Entrepreneurship, we're having entrepreneurs set us small challenges, bite-sized challenges, much like in our main challenge episodes. So we want the 3 of you to give us a head scratcher to work on for a few minutes so we get a taster of what you've actually been through.
Yeah, so we'll just a 5-minute. Which one? What will it be?
Tell us what we need to do.
Okay, so as a trainer, as a business development lead in a training institution, I will give you one of the case studies that we normally do. So I want you to imagine that you have a skincare business that you started maybe like 2 years ago. So it's a new business. then you need to raise 500,000 in the next 1 month to bring in a product, to start off a product at the new year. I need you to look at what sources of funds do you have that are immediate to you, and they're easier for you to get that 500,000 in the next 3 weeks. Start off the product in 2 weeks in December, January, launch the product, and make sure that you have money for marketing.
On top of the 500,000?
No,
inside.
Okay.
not 500,000.
As part of it.
And to be clear, 500,000, that's Kenyan shillings, right?
Yes.
It's about $4,000 US,
Yes,
something like
like
that.
$4,000 US.
Okay. And we need it
So I'm
by
counting.
3 weeks.
Yes.
3 weeks.
Look
Before
at
Christmas.
look at all
Yeah,
the
well, we need
sources
the
of
products,
funds that you
yeah.
have around you that you can access.
I have a very rich husband. No, I don't. I wish I did.
I wish.
But that would be an option.
That is an
So-
option. Yes.
So first,
Family.
Okay, so
Family.
skincare business. Hold on. Skincare business. Bringing in products. So we're going to then be selling those products. We're going to be getting money back. So we should be able to pay this back quickly.
What is
right?
the timeline of paying back?
Well, if we need the products in by 3 weeks so that we can sell them for Christmas, by January we should have the money. But maybe not all of it.
February-ish. Safer.
Yeah, let's say
Yes.
February. Let's add some buffer.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's only 500,000, so it's like, it's not big enough to really go to a bank for, right?
Yeah.
And we need it quick.
I think we can start with our savings first.
Savings, yeah. If we've not already exhausted them on like establishing our brand and paying for our first staff.
I think I have like 50,000.
Okay, you're useless.
It shows me as your co-founder.
Well, no, but remember, we need some fallbacks. So if you use all of your savings, then we have nothing, right?
So
I've
we
got
leave
like
the savings
100K.
Okay.
So maybe we can use like 20K of your 50. But
And
it's
you
also
use how
Christmas.
much?
I have 100, so maybe I could put 50.
So we have 70.
Yeah, it's not going to get us
470
very
to go.
far. So for quick money that we can pay back quickly, first, so bank, I don't think it's an option. It's not going to go quick enough. Family and friends.
I think bank is possible because there are banks that if you've banked, okay, we've been 2
I'm
years,
sure.
right? There are banks that give you a loan, business loan, if you've been active for
Well,
2
yeah,
years.
but it can take time and then it's going to be expensive.
It depends. If we've been good in the bank, I think I know. Okay, I won't name them until you pay us. Anyway, there are banks that can give a small
Okay.
business loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first, one thing I know about businesses is the first thing you do is go to the people around you before you involve third parties who's going to be expensive. They're not doing it to help you.
The
They're doing it
interest
to
is
make
high.
money. Yeah. So if we've not already been, like, I think my close family, I've already got money from them.
How much?
Right.
How much would you get from?
No,
your
I've already
family?
got from my close family. But now we could go to like friends and extended family.
How much do you think you can get?
I could
100
probably
ish.
get 200, I think.
So that's
If
keeps
it's
us-
immediate and I can say, look, I'll pay you back with a bit of interest, right? Because I know it's Christmas.
Yeah.
If we say, we can give you like, 5% or something.
Okay, for me, parents, friends, yes, that's possible.
Yeah.
150. 150.
Okay, so I think if I can get 150, you get 150, and then we said 70. We might still need a bit more.
I think, okay, we said bank is not. What is other?
We're not going to go to
credit.
a bank for like 40K, are we?
There's no other. Oh, no, we have to ask
For
your other
100K.
friend, the other one that
That
you're avoiding.
Other
to ask.
friends. Oh, my rich friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they are so superior.
I think we just go to bank then. Bank can be plan Z.
Plan.
If
And
we are
can be
not.
plan B, but let's go people around us and maybe offer like some little Christmas goodies. Them either interest or little Christmas goodies. We're bringing these products in. Maybe we can add like some little stuff from China. Little Christmas goodies.
Or what influencers are always doing, these masterclasses that just come from nowhere. Maybe we can do a masterclass on skincare.
For who?
And then they pay for people who want to learn something about skincare.
Oh, to make
That's
extra money.
Yeah, that's a
No,
fundraising
we're going to
event.
be making money from the. Oh, you mean to raise?
Yeah,
Yeah, but time.
in 3 weeks. You can do a
Maybe
masterclass.
that
20
could make
people
up the
come.
difference.
Yeah, it could make the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's all these Christmas fairs coming up. A lot of Christmas fairs, bazaars. We could, even if it's not products, we could do some little masterclasses there. Give you like your skincare routine from A to Z. Just make the recommendations for like a few hundred shilling, even if it's something cheap. Or,
Yeah. But the masterclass, people pay like 2,000-3,000. So
Yeah.
we can make
Okay.
we can make like close to 100.
And that doesn't
masterclass?
cost us anything.
It would cost us to promote it and all, but it wouldn't be that much money.
Yeah.
It would be an
Okay.
Instagram ad or something.
So we can do that immediately. We set that up immediately, so we should get the funds within 2 weeks. Family and friends, I think we can mobilize within a week.
But they are planning for December. I hope we can actually get all of them
Yeah.
to give us money. Otherwise, the masterclass has to cover there.
Yeah, but we'll tell them exactly what it's for. We can sign some paper, just a piece of paper saying when we'll pay them back and with what interest.
By Valentine's Day.
By
Valentine's Day.
By Valentine's Day.
Because that's the next time they're using their money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we've got a few friends who they've been in similar situations to us, but they're a bit more comfortable now. So even if it's just 50K, right? And I think signing something is really crucial. So we're reassuring them and we're adding, even if it's 2%, 3% interest, just so we know, right, you're not going to be earning interest from it whilst we have the money, but it's only, 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think 5 minutes are done.
Okay. Yeah, and we've got our 500K. Boom.
Boom. Done.
Okay, are we destined to fail, or do you think that we might have our products before Christmas?
Okay.
Oh dear, that cough. That cough is a bad sign, no?
Yeah. Not really a bad sign, but I'll start off by saying that personal finances should be the business finances. You had a business for 2 years. You should have saved something.
Actually, there should be some business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Business
yeah,
finances.
we're good entrepreneurs. We have like 2 million in the bank, surely. From goodness. We could have just said, we have the
500
money,
out of-
let's just go get a coffee for the first of the 5 minutes.
We are doing worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Yes, that is 2. 3, personal finances. That is you and your finances as an investor in your business. Because the other thing that people forget is that you are an investor in your own business. So whatever amount you put, if you put 10,000, that's an investment. So whatever you have in your personal savings, you can use it as an investment for that product. Fourthly, I would say that another thing that you can use is, as she said, I have a rich husband, I have a rich mother, I have a rich cousin. All those personal networks of people who can be able to give you, invest in your business. They're angel investors. Some of them just come from the fact that they see there's potential in this. My child has a potential in this business flourishing in the next 3 months. So they would give you something. The one thing that I'll tell you is that whatever you do, even when you get it from your personal networks, make sure you have that contract saying when you're going to pay for it, are you going to give them in as an interest? If it's your parents, do they want an interest? When do they want it back? Make sure you have that, because at the end of it all, this business should show where it came from with the hard work that you've put in. I think that it's personal finances. The last thing I would say is there anything I'm forgetting out of that?
I think you've covered it, because the 2 F's, if you forget, is family and friends should be your first option before the bank. And then also something else maybe I can add to what Olive has said is that you've been in business for 2 years. So if you're doing it right and you have the right products, so you've also built a brand. So you could also use the existing clients to fund the new products. So you could make like a sale and tell them, you'll be running out of this and this. So why don't you prepay, and then when they come, you will enjoy a special offer.
I like that.
Nothing where people sign up.
Because you already have them for 2 years. They've seen you deliver, so they trust in you that you're gonna do it, and you're reliable. So they will come for you, and they will. It's even easier than sometimes when you go to friends, if things don't turn out right, then they'll become enemies. So, but your clients, they know.
That's true.
You could do pre-order the new product. Or if you're not ready to do that, it could be like a Christmas promo or the 12 days of skincare and or subscribe for next year and you'll get 1 product a month for the rest of the year, something like that, to get that money in from revenue, which is the cheapest form of investment in a way, because you're not having to pay it back with interest. Even if it means getting promos, you're also loyalizing your customers, getting more awareness out there of your brand.
So that's number 2 after family. That's before friends, I think.
Or even before,
Even before family and friends.
Yes.
Before family and friends.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you can get it through revenue in 3 weeks, why not?
And there's
Because
no
it's a
interest
business.
there.
It's part of your business. It's like business finances, then your ideas for your business that you can invest in. So it should be
Before.
number 2,
Number
somewhere
2.
there. Yes. Before you get to your family and friends and start telling them, and
So I have many questions based on what you've just said, because I feel like that was a mini masterclass on capital raising already. But first, we need a score out of 10, or out of 500,000 shillings. What would you score?
How well or how badly did we do in raising capital?
above half.
Above half, okay.
Which is
3
good.
out of 5.
6 or 8? Which one?
Let's say 7. Let's say 7.
Okay.
A solid 7. Because I would say that when you started discussing, the first thing you thought about was the loan.
You.
Was
no,
the
it
loan?
wasn't
You
the
wanted to go to
first.
the bank.
It was like the second.
I think-
You took time to speak about it.
I think because you wanted to plug a bank and then try and get sponsorship from that bank, but we can't name a bank.
We are not naming banks. No. Until they pay.
Exactly, or give us a business loan.
So I would say a solid 7. The other thing that I would just comment on it is that before you get to the point of discussing about raising your capital, look at your finances. So the first thing you would have discussed, the two of you, was how are our finances? Do we have that 500,000? If we invest this 500,000, do we have salaries for the next 6 months for our staff? Such things. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah,
Should have started
exactly.
there.
Yeah, because maybe January we have huge tax bills to pay, and so paying back that 500,000 might even be tricky.
And maybe the new product needs more employees. So
Yeah,
it'll just
yeah.
mess things
And
up.
more time to hit the market.
More marketing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot to think about there. A couple of questions based on what you've said. So you mentioned about investing your own money, and any of the three of you can answer this one. Would you suggest investing all your money? Like you said, as an entrepreneur, you have to have some skin in the game. But if I have, like we were saying, okay, she has 50,000 shillings. I don't have to put all 50,000 shillings in, because what if it fails? But then by doing so, are you also demonstrating how much you believe in your business? What do you think about that? Should you go all in and put all your life savings into it, right? Or should you be a bit cautious and hold back?
I would say you're not trying to prove anything to anyone. So you don't have to put it all, because it's a risk.
Yeah.
You just, once you have your plan in place, okay, I want to start this business, so I want to launch this product. This is how much I need. How much do we have? How feasible is it? If you don't want to go for the expensive options of bank loans and the hassle of going to family and friends. So from your plan, you should be able to say, okay, this is how much we have. This is how much we can put in, knowing you do not have to sleep hungry because you're starting a business. So you have to have the best laid plan. And if you have somebody who a financial consultant can assist with that, so then you don't throw yourself in the deep end and you're not able to swim.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the planning and having also to consult, because some of those things, you can't make those decisions on your own. You may need a bit of assistance.
Okay.
I would say also do proper research. Proper. Complete. Don't be in a hurry. You might put in that 50,000 and remain with nothing, and everything goes up. Or the next day, there is a maandamano somewhere, and
Or
your
COVID.
business or COVID. Yeah,
So you need your emergency funds. Also.
you need to have your own emergency funds. Remember that it's not all. It's a risk, yes. You should take it, but also be a bit clever. Think about what might happen, what might not happen. Yes.
Interesting, yeah. My brother is in the financial sector, and I was asking him, where can I invest some money that's like a short thing? He said, Claire, there's no such thing as a short thing. Otherwise, we'd all be millionaires.
Easy money.
Right? And there's no such thing as free money or easy money. And then another thing you mentioned, which was getting things on paper, which we talked about in our role play. I've lent money to businesses before, and they've still not fully paid me back, but at least I had it on paper, so I could get a lawyer involved to get it. I have something to say, look, this is what I lent it for, this is when you were supposed to pay it back, and this is the interest that applies. So I know the importance of it. Would you say for everything you do, it's important to get on paper? And at what stage, maybe?
Every time, like for business, every time you are getting into a contract, every time you want to get money, whether it's from friends, because you're friends today, but tomorrow, who knows, or family. So some people even exaggerate how much they give to you. So I would say that at any point, don't get tired. Have like a contract that you do. And sometimes even you need, probably depending on the amount, you'll also need lawyers involved to just make sure that everybody, there are some witnesses that have been present when you're making this deal, because I think we can agree money is a sensitive issue. Like most of the businesses, as much as we talk about businesses failing, some of the reasons they fail is because somebody gave you money, you had agreed that you would repay in 24 months, and then you're not able to do it, and they decide halfway, I want my money today. Then your business will collapse. Maybe they think you're doing so well. So you cannot really, it's good to have that in writing. Always, just don't tire of paperwork. Have something in, and not on WhatsApp. The other day I lost all my conversations on WhatsApp. So please don't save your business deal.
Yeah, WhatsApp. Yes. Save them somewhere that they can't get lost, on a cloud somewhere, on a phone.
I like the witness thing. Because people can start gaslighting you.
Yes.
It was 300, not 100,000.
Yeah. An interesting point. Even if it's friends or family, still get it on paper. If they trust you, they shouldn't mind doing it. Right?
And it's for both of you. They are good and you're good.
So are there cases where it's not necessary to raise capital? Like, does every business need to raise capital? Or at every stage? Or what's the journey? Would you say every entrepreneur always does?
Yes and no. First things, as I said, there are specific questions you should ask yourself before you start raising funds. So when you wake up and ask yourself, I need to start the new product. Do I have to do it now? Is the other product working well? Am I gaining more in the market? How is the market looking like? How are the interest rates? How is the dollar rate? You might wake up today and find the dollar rate is at 130, 140. You're like, okay, I can't start my new product. I cannot raise capital with this type of economic crisis. So there are different things you need to ask yourself before you do that. And I would say that I'd like to ask Irene and Diana to tell us what made them raise capital, because they have to have asked themselves those specific questions. Why? Is it now? Do I have to? Yes.
So it's true what Olive is saying. You don't always need to raise capital for your business, because it also depends on what kind of products are you dealing in. So for us at Rexe, I'll just say it, is that our kind of business is very capital intensive. So to bring in the products, to put them together, to keep them in storage, to clear these containers, it takes a lot of money. So because of the intensity, the capital, that the business is very capital intensive, then you get to a place that your own funds, or even with your partners, is not really enough. And like we also said, you can't put all the money in the business. Like every business is a risk. No matter how good it looks on paper, anything can happen. So you can't also put everything in it. So what we have to do is to look at the nature of business that you're operating in. If it's not capital intensive, then let it grow organically, by the way, because like we've said, all forms of capital have a cost to them. Be it the family, be it the friends, be it the debt, or capital. We've seen people who went to even angel investors and then they fall out. So there's a big cost associated with that. So I would say, like, let it not be the first thing that I must raise the capital. Look at the nature of business that you're in.
Because if you're a service-based business that doesn't need many materials, like I have my own business, we work with like monitoring and valuation, fundraising, actually, but more on the non-profit fundraising. So we don't have to raise money, right? Yeah. Maybe if we wanted to scale and we wanted to train more people, hire more people, get bigger systems in place, then we might need some, right? But there we'd have a clear need. But yeah, if you're not bringing in products from abroad and clearing and storing them, you might not need to raise unless you until you get that specific need.
True. That's what I would say. Yes. Yes.
Because some people always think you have to raise or you have to be going to the next stage, but maybe they're not ready. Have you
Because
also
that's the
been there?
idea in their head that you're a successful entrepreneur if you're raising capital. There's this idea in people's minds.
But it's hard.
And also we've seen cases where you've raised the capital in very early days, especially before you build even a brand, and then even the money is not enough. You still fall out of business because you didn't even test this product, and because you had money, you relaxed. By the way, in the beginning, not having that kind of money is also a good thing. You wake up at 4 a.m. and sleep at midnight because you need to sell the product. But if you get money so early on, then you think it's going to be easy, and then you have no money, and then you have nothing to sell. Yeah.
Interesting. That's the sweat capital, right? That we say you first put in.
Exactly.
Before you raise financial capital, at least put in the sweat capital, so you know you have a viable product or service.
How does it work in service
hospitality? So I agree, in the initial years, let the business grow organically. Just use the same channel, the same funds to growth. Like for us, for the first, we've been in business for 10 years. It's going to be 10 years next year. And for the first 7 years, we did not have a situation where we needed to do capital raising. Wow. We were growing organically. We first started with 12 rooms. Now, because of demand, we went to about 20 rooms, then 30, slowly, until now we got to 50. Now, because we got to 50, we needed to add other facilities to accommodate. We didn't have a pool. Now, there was the sudden need for a pool. Then we needed a bigger restaurant for the numbers and all that. Now, because that development was capital intensive, and we didn't want to pull so much the funds out of operation. So what we did, we went and got a facility. So that has helped, because when we did the calculations, we were able to pay this facility without strain.
And you have a track record of seeing how fast you can make the money out.
Yes. So that helped. So at the point where we are now, we're still able to service our facility. We're still selling our rooms, and the facilities are up. So the business also the hotel becomes attractive. Before we were mostly a couples getaway, because we didn't have so many facilities. Now we're more family oriented. There's a pool, so we attracted a different type of clientele, which is willing to spend because you have the facilities. Yes, so that has slowly now ensured we are able to settle our debts or our financing. And so at the beginning, let it grow organically. Once you have brand presence or a brand now you can mention and people can relate, then you're a step ahead.
So that's 7 years. So Claire, we have 3 more years. Wow. 3 more years of bootstrapping.
Tomorrow. You never know. So what top tips do you have, in no particular order, for either aspiring or fledgling entrepreneurs, someone who's struggling, someone who doesn't know where to start, or who wants to start something? You obviously already mentioned start small, start with what you already have, friends and family. Anything else that you would say, these are maybe based on your own experiences? All three of you, even Olive, you mentioned you're a serial entrepreneur, and you also, as your work, you help others on their entrepreneurship journey.
And I think also give us platforms of where you can access venture funding, angel investors, all that, if you can give some.
I'll start off by saying that one thing that I'll tell any entrepreneur who wants to raise capital, be sure, one, make sure it's realistic. Be creative in how you're raising the funds, because it's very important to be creative. Figure out ways to do it. The fact that you're saying you can be able to train people, you can train people for makeup creativity. The master class is creativity. Before you get to that loan and sign that document at the bank, be creative. Make sure it's also realistic. Yes. You might be seeing, as she has said, that you might be feeling a sense of, I want to raise capital, I want to grow my business fast, I want to... And you forget that there's that sweat capital that was at the beginning and miss that. If you look at people who've had businesses and raised capital immediately, forgot the sweat capital, put that money in the business, they end up relaxing. After 4 to 5 years, there's no business. It dies off very easily. So make sure that I think also don't rush. Just don't rush. Take time. Yes.
Run your own race. Yeah, just run your own race. Go at your pace. And I guess it will all work out so long as you're there and you're persistent. It all works
That
out.
4 a.m. That 4 a.m.
That 4 a.m.
4 a.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
It's so true, because I'm also thinking about, we've now been in business for 14 years. At Rexe Roofing, we are 14 years this year. And what I would say is, when you go into business, you have this idea that it's a linear curve. You just go, you'll start here, and then in 10 years, you will have all the billions you want. So reality check, it doesn't work like that. There's this thing that people draw where you see, it's like an iceberg, where you see only at the top, but you don't see all the disappointment, all the hiccups. So you be ready if you want to go into business. It's not something that you must have, like, maybe to say, skin in the game. And I see also maybe for younger or what can I say, like very young entrepreneurs, when they go into it, they have this attitude of, I'll start like 5 businesses. That also will not work, because you, in the early stages, you have really to put in all your efforts in it, so that you're not having one here, another one here, and then before you know it, you have like 5 that did not work. So just have that consistency and know that it will not just grow. Suddenly there's so many things that will go wrong. Some things also will go right, but just be prepared that it's not just a straight line that you will see and everything works out. And also maybe to just add something else, that when you're looking for these partners, whether it's you want debt or you want to look for investors, look for people you are aligned in their values. Sometimes you are so hungry for the money that we've also seen people going to very expensive alternative financials, and again they've lost everything, because before you just went in and you got the money, and then you realize our values don't even align. And this is also even for business partners. Just because we are friends, I'm sorry to say, does not make us the best business partners. And you learn some of these problems when you are in, because you've not taken time to just do a bit of personality test. Even maybe your personality and mine are good because we see each other as friends, but when it comes to the business, we can't even get along. So really, those are just a few tips that I would say that somebody who is either getting into business or early stages of business, that you have to consider.
That's really important, about the values. And I guess knowing, what type of funding you really want, who you want to work with.
And the repercussions as well, because you might get in the money you want, but it comes, that's a double-edged sword, where now they're starting to change the business you had in mind, because they have their skin in the game.
And we've mentioned debt, we've mentioned friends and family, we've mentioned kind of driving more revenue. Are there other options out there, maybe for much smaller, much bigger businesses?
You asked different companies that do that. There's unconventional capital that do early stage. There is Core Ventures. There's
Core
Capital.
Ventures.
Yes. There's Capital Connect. There's NISC. There's so many different companies that are out there that are doing it. And I also tend to think that before you go to that bank, please pass through these companies. Yes.
Start
So
here
I guess
first.
they're more willing to take risks.
Yes. And they will train you. Some of them train you for you to be able to get these funds.
And so they would provide debt, right? So it's money paid back with a certain amount of interest.
Yes. There's also private equity, whereby someone, like now, and I think it's Core Ventures, whereby they come in with private equity and take 20% of your business, give you funds, then take back the money when you reach a certain point. Then let's say you are making shea butter. You know how right now it has hit the market. So in 5-6 months, it hits market very well, and you end up selling this product, and you're able to pay back these guys their money. So that 20% that you've given unto them as equity is something that they own about that business. They can sell it to anyone else or keep it as the business grows, because there's a specific revenue they should be getting out of it. So there are so many ways you can do it, and I think it's a choice, as she said. Take it slow.
So in the US or the UK, I think it's Shark Tank, Dragon's Den. Here it's Lion's Den.
Lion's Den. Yes.
So where you go in and say, we want this amount of money for 20% of my business. And for the average viewer, I think we've no idea what they're talking about, right? How does that actually work out? Sometimes you hear crazy figures, but that's real. It doesn't happen as quickly as that, right? But you go with a proposal, and so they've thought about it, they've got their plan, and they always say what they'll do with this money. We need this money to do X, Y, Z. And that should be on a business plan, right? Should it be on a written business plan?
Yes.
Ideally.
Be specific with the business plan. Have a strategy. Make sure that it makes sense and it's realistic. You have the right team. People forget that your team also makes you or breaks you. You might have one rotten egg that will break 100 people in that business. So have the right team, have the right strategy, market the right way, make sure that your books are in order and they're making sense. If I ask you for a receipt in 2023, July 7th, you have it.
Yes. Accountants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, be very compliant and systematic from the beginning, right?
Yes. Systems should also be working.
Yeah. Which the problem is many entrepreneurs who are creative maybe have a great business idea, but that side is what's lacking. So they probably need someone to bring someone in who can fill that gap, right? To keep records or be very systematic.
So what courses in ISBI would you suggest for anyone who just wants to get started in capital raising?
In capital raising?
Specifically. Yeah.
So I'd say that the capital raising forum, which is something that you do before we do the capital raising seminar. So the capital raising forum is where you come and learn more about how to raise capital and the process and how to prepare yourself. So by the time you come to the capital raising seminar, this is where you're meeting these guys who are doing the giving of funds, who are ventures, then unconventional capital.
Oh, wow.
This is where you have a chance to come and look at them at their face and like, oh, okay, so I have come here to learn and I would also like to get money for this and this. We've also added something out of it is the ESGs. Right now, we're focusing on that inside capital raising because you need to have a proper story to tell about your business. If your business impacts the SDGs right now, there's specific capital that you can get out of it. Yes.
So according to specific areas, maybe climate change.
You can get funds through climate change right now. You can get funds through maybe a specific company is looking to raise funds for women, to raise funds for young girls, raise funds for boys. Keep forgetting the boys.
Don't forget the boys.
Yes.
Oh, nice. So how often do you do that capital raising seminar?
Twice a year. The capital raising seminar is once a year. Capital raising forum is once a year. Okay. Capital raising forum is at the beginning of the year. Then capital raising seminar is at the end of the year as you finalize and wind down the year when you're going for that vacation.
Before December.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. So I've learned a lot. Certainly opened my eyes. I feel like I can now say yes to being even more serious and ambitious in my entrepreneurship. Though, as we've just discussed, let's recap a bit. Always need to bear in mind, be prepared, think through if you need capital, what you need it for. Get everything down on paper and get all the papers and keep them, right? Whatever you're doing, basically, it always needs to be on paper and you keep them. And there's no such thing as free money. And grow organically, start small, and don't have 5 businesses at once and say one of them will stick, maybe. Focus and go all in and put in that sweat, that elbow grease. Excellent. And you've all been through it, but you're all still on that journey. You said there's the iceberg underneath the water that we don't see. I'm sure you've had ups and downs.
But they look happy, so
they look
I guess
happy
things are happening well.
Businesses have been around for 10 and 14 years, and ISBI's been around for
15
years. So they're clearly doing things well.
There's hope, people. There's hope.
Exactly.
I'll start by saying ISBI is an institution inside Strathmore University whereby we train entrepreneurs. Our flagship program is the Advanced Entrepreneurship Program that runs thrice a year, and we have an intake in Feb. So majorly we train on strategy, marketing, finance, employee management, negotiation, which is very important, tax, legal, and entrepreneurship is the first class whereby you learn time management and also how to pay yourself as an entrepreneur. So the program runs for 4 months, once a week, every Tuesday. And I'm willing and ready to give an offer to your audience.
Wow. So the first 5 people to inbox us on any of our socials for the discount code will be given the discount code. So first come, first serve, whenever you're listening to this, inbox us on any of the Yes Girls podcast socials and we will send you the code. That's it for this episode. Don't worry though, there are plenty of full episodes available where we say yes to doing, being, or learning something new, and dozens of mini episodes. So just scroll down your podcast feed and choose an episode that catches your eye.
And please take time to rate and review us wherever you're listening. It helps others also become yes people, and you can become a trendsetter. Another thing, please share this episode or podcast with someone who will enjoy it, learn from it, or both.
Yeah, maybe an aspiring entrepreneur around you. And as always, reach out on social media if you have an idea for an episode or want to get involved through sponsorship or being a guest expert. Our inbox is always open.
You'll find us everywhere at Yes Girls Podcast. You'll find ISBI at
isbi.or.ke website.
And Instagram.
ISBI Kenya.
Uh-huh.
Twitter ISBI Kenya. Facebook ISBI Kenya.
Okay.
LinkedIn ISBI Kenya. Yeah.
Okay.
In case you didn't catch it, it's
Consistency.
Yes.
ISBI Kenya. And Rexe.
Rexe Roofing, you'll find the same, also consistent. Rexe Roofing Products, we are on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and also on TikTok.
Wow. TikTok as well. I'm impressed. Hey. ISBI, are you on TikTok?
Yes,
Not
we
yet.
are.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
Oh, you should mention TikTok these days. It's a flex.
Yes.
Lerruat?
Lerruat is Lerruat Log Resort on all platforms.
Nice.
That is LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Hey, even
On TikTok.
Mkobele. That's nice.
Yes.
Okay, we're also on TikTok. Yes Girls Podcast.
So thank you so much, Olive, Irene, and Diana, and all at ISBI, Lerruat Log Resort, and Rexe for your hard work and determination, and for being such amazing guest experts for this episode.
One last question for you all that we ask all our guests. What is something you've recently said yes to? It can be big, small.
I said yes recently to a spontaneous road trip out of the city, and it was really amazing. I'm glad I did it. It was a break from my routine, and I loved it.
Was it in Lerruat?
It was in Kisumu.
Oh, even farther. My God.
That's a big spontaneous road trip. Awesome. Love
But
that.
you should say you've been to Lerruat.
But I have been to, I have been to Lerruat, and it's
I've been there
beautiful.
too.
If you haven't been, you should. Not once, actually. I've been to Lerruat now 4 times.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's not as far as Kisumu.
No, very close.
You know, when someone says road trip, you never think that far.
Yeah.
You just think, yeah.
Yeah, Namanga, Kajiado,
Kisumu.
Wow.
I would say for me, what I've said yes to is finding time to relax
That's impressive.
And important.
and loving my time to sleep and relaxing.
But you said you're a mother of 1. How do you get time to relax and sleep?
How
Please
old
share
is the
your
child?
tips.
Old enough, and
Okay.
he learns. He knows that I have my time to sleep. It's very important.
She needs that.
Yes.
I need to get there eventually, but
No, you just sleep on the sofa, and when they touch you and ask you something, tell them, I'm sleeping. That's simple.
top tips there.
The thing I've said yes to is self-love. This year has been a year of self-love. I do things that make me happy. I visit places that make me happy. I'm a mother of 3, so I have been doing this parenting thing for the last 20 years.
Plus entrepreneurship.
Yes. So this year is self-love year. Going
deserve
forward.
it.
Going forward.
Wow,
This
amazing.
is the self-love decade.
Yes.
Good. Congratulations. And you
I'll do that
certainly
next
deserve it.
It's a nice place to be.
And Claire, because we have not asked each other this question as well.
Oh,
What have you
what have I
recently
said
said
yes to? What have I said yes to? Drinking more coffee. I've gone back to drinking more coffee. Sorry, I stopped and now I'm back again. Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy you're back.
Because I've realised whether I drink coffee or not, my baby still will or will not sleep. He will decide. The coffee does not influence it. So, yeah.
Okay.
And you?
Whatever it is to say yes to. I go to the gym now by myself.
Ooh.
Which is
Not with
impressive.
a coach,
Even me,
you
I'm
mean?
shocked. Yes.
Good.
I actually have discipline. I just put sticks in my notebook. If I see the sticks, I'm impressed with them. Then I timed it. So if it's 30 minutes, I know, let's just go to the gym. It's
Wow.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Lots of inspiration there for you listeners of what you can say yes to as well. So we'll see you again, or you will hear us again before you can say elevator pitch. We'll be back soon with another
Mini,
episode in just a couple of weeks. In the meantime, I'm Claire.
I'm Akumu.
And we are
The Yes Girls.
And the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Entro or enter?
And true entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.